Hi.
Ah, you look
How
so
are you?
pretty.
Thank you. You too. We're matching with the braids.
Oh, I'm not.
Yes. It took a minute to get this.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I tried to do it all, and then I was like, no, it's too
You
much.
twisted and then you
Uh-huh.
twisted. And then,
Yes.
okay.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Good. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
Brande Victorian. I work for Madame Noir Hello Beautiful.
Nice.
Um, Big fans of you. Really excited for this album. Congratulations
Thank you very much.
on putting this out. How does it feel for you to be putting this album out after 3 long years of work put into this project?
Oh, it feels amazing. It feels amazing to complete, this body of work. Like you said, it's 3 years, been a long time coming. Um, it just feels really amazing. Like I look back and I'm just super proud of how long the process was, and just to hear all the songs just all come together, and to hear the body of work just from top to bottom, just everything, it just sounds like, wow, it's really here, it's really done, everybody gets to hear it. It's just super exciting, super blessed to be able to still have this amount of passion for music and for the project. It feels dope.
Yeah. Yeah. And what made you decide, with this project and at this time, that this was the time to bear it all, as you talked about, just really telling your story? And is it scary for you doing that?
It's a little bit scary because the album is so personal, it is so honest, but um I was inspired. I just felt like, if I can't tell my own story through my music, then what am I really doing it for? And then also, um music is very, very therapeutic,
Yeah.
and it just felt like it was just pouring out of me, just the lyrics, and just to hear the music, hear the tracks, hear the beats, and to just hum melodies, and for the lyrics to just flow. It just felt like the right thing to do. It felt like I was being led. It felt like I was
Mhm.
following my creative flow. And I'd never felt that way before. I never felt so sure about something before, even though it was very difficult to trust that. Even though it was coming so natural for me, it was difficult to trust it. I still went ahead on and did what I had to do, and then thought about it later.
Yeah.
But um, because there was so much time, it felt like, it's taken too long. I need to come out with my music. It just felt like it was the right time. And then of course, the fan base is like, come on,
Exactly.
it, you know,
Yeah. And
I
then for
was
you also,
encouraged.
right.
I pushed. So.
Ready. And then also to have complete creative control. Like how does that feel as an artist? You put out so much work. Um,
Yeah,
but to now be like, this is me top to bottom.
it feels like true freedom. um it just feels like it's not like you don't have a team. It's not like you don't have people that you consider. You don't consider their thoughts. You don't consider their opinions, because I have a great foundation. I have a great support system with the people that I've had a chance to work with. But it feels like, I matter. It feels
Yeah.
like what I feel matters. What I say matters. Not what I say goes. This is what I say matters. And it's just great to work with people where what I feel, it's just I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
And um, not that it didn't feel like that before, but before, it's sometimes I didn't feel like, just what I felt mattered, or I felt shut down in some places. And you know I would get overlooked, and it doesn't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
And that feels amazing.
Yeah.
That feels amazing to matter.
Yeah, for sure. I listened to the album earlier today, and I was like, this reminds me of like Aphrodisiac. That's my favorite album of yours. Like, just like you can just sit with it, and just listen, and that's what I really liked about it. And like two titles stuck out to me. The first was Baby Mama,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought about, when Fantasia had her song years ago, and people
Oh
were like, are you calling it baby mama? You know, we don't like this word or whatever. And she's like, I'm comfortable with it, you know, and I'm reclaiming it. How do you relate to the word baby mama, and why did you pick that title?
Yes, I'm doing the same thing, just reclaiming it because I love being a mother. I love how I feel about my daughter, and I love being able to be inspired by her to keep thriving in my dreams and keep thriving in my life. And so, I always hear baby mama being like a negative thing, a negative connotation, and I wanted to bring something positive to that because like I said, I just feel so great being her mom. And then it's not always negative. Like, I'm not about the drama. I'm really about um, setting a positive light for my daughter. I'm really about providing and doing what I have to do for her. And I think there are a lot of moms out there that are like that don't get the credit that they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And then teaming up with Chance, and he's stamping that definition. It just helped. And
Yeah.
the beat being triumphant, and it just all came together, perfectly. And I just thought that it was a great way to reintroduce myself,
Yeah.
back to music.
Yeah. And then the other was Bipolar, you know, which you see the title, you think it's about one thing, then you're like, oh wait, this is something else is going on here. So can you talk about that metaphor, yeah, and what you're getting across in that song?
It was my struggle with love and communication, and not feeling heard, and feeling played with in a way, and feeling like my life was just basically on the line at the time. And I really had to face some things about myself, and I had to get strong within to be able to make certain moves in my life, and to get to a place where I could really be on my own, to be strong for my own life and for my daughter. So I don't really like to be, not even that I don't like to be as descriptive in when I speak about it, but I feel like when I try to speak about it, it takes away from what the song really is. So when you really hear it and really listen to the words, it really tells you what I'm trying to say. And I really go deep with that song. And I think a lot of people will be surprised as to what it really truly means. And I know a lot of people struggle with mental health, and it's something that I feel like people should take very serious. We all should, because we all struggle with depression. We all just struggle with, keeping our minds in the right place.
Yeah.
And I work on it every day. But I had a really rough time, and I felt like singing through that, saved me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of the name, it made me okay.
You went from baby mama to that. I'm like, yeah.
I know, I jumped.
No, it's okay, but I mean,
yeah, those are the
that tells me you listen to it all the way through.
Exactly.
Album,
exactly.
Sure.
Yes. And because of that title, it made me think about, obviously right now there's a lot of conversation around, Kanye West and bipolar disease. And so what do you want people to understand about mental health and dealing with issues, and particularly going through that when you're in the spotlight and when everything you do is watched? What do people need to understand?
People need to understand that it's very real, and it's not something that you judge. I think we judge things, and we don't have enough compassion. We don't have enough love. We don't have enough understanding. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes I feel like we look at people, and we look at things, and we look at it as just something to talk about, or just news, just in you asking me, I can just tell you asking me, it's compassionate. You really want to know, just, do I have compassion? And you don't, it's not enough people looking into things to see what we can do to help, and because we all go through things, and we all have something. It may not be bipolar, it might not be, this or that, but we all go through something. We all are flawed. We all have something that we struggle with. Mm-hmm. And I think we all need to find compassion for each other, so we can all know that we're here for each other to make it through to the next moment in our lives, because you never know what somebody is going through. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You know? And it shouldn't take, you know, someone to fall all the way down for us then to care. And then our prayers go out to them after they have fallen all the way down. Because if something happens to Kanye, we're all going to be hurt.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly. Like, let something happen to Kanye.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna
right. A day is a joke yesterday, you know, now.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be, you know, and so
yeah. I you know, and even, you know, just thinking, you know, in the press materials we received, you know, you talked about even yourself just being in a dark place, you know, sometime in the last album and now, and just like pulling yourself out of that, which, like you said, we all can relate to, just having that downtime, that darkness. What were like practical things you did to kind of pull yourself out of that? I feel like people don't talk enough about like what that healing really looks like. And like you said, it's day to day.
It is.
Yeah.
Counseling. I think, you know, talking to someone is huge, you know. Journaling, writing is super. It's been, you know, a blessing for me to be able to, you know, write out my thoughts and write out my feelings. It's taught me how to be honest with myself. Family, you know, being surrounded by people that love me. Singing, music, which is why, you know, I have the music, you know, tennis.
Nice. Okay. Has that always been your thing?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a huge part of my life.
Okay.
So, and you know, just trying to find ways to laugh and you know, and trying to think positive, and you know, you don't try to stay in it, you know. But yeah, those are some of the things. I don't know if everything I named was practical, but
no, journaling, writing, that's
yeah.
And I also have like a side that I work on called Be.Enough, and it's just about the idea that it's called Be.Enough.
Be.Enough.
Yeah, and so it's just based on the idea. Thank you. That, you know, believing you're enough is like a never-ending journey. Whether you're doing something new, you know, professionally, or, you know, your romantic life changes, you question, am I enough? And so I always ask people if they can remember a time, you know, that they got the message that they weren't enough, and how that affected them, and how, you know, you kind of silence that noise and push past that.
Like where they were not enough?
Yeah, like you got that message in some kind of way.
Oh, I mean, I can't think of a specific, like, this is the moment where I felt. I think there was a phase where I felt that I wasn't enough, you know. And I just remember feeling like that. And, you know, and then you hear like, you are enough, but then you don't believe it. You know, it's just something you hear, and it feels like it's just cliche. Oh, that's just something to say. That's just some old affirmation that you just, and then your mind starts to, that's just something to say. And then when you try to affirm that, you know, it sounds like a lie, you know. But, you know, when you get to a point where you feel like you either believe you are enough, or something is not, or something is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you have to really just buckle down and really believe that you are enough, because you really are enough. And when you really think about it, there is no other you on this planet. There is no, you know, so when you really think about that, it's like you start to feel like, you know, when you really embrace that, and it takes a minute, you start to embrace that, you realize how important you are to God. How God really took the time to create you and make you unique to the point where there is no other you on this planet, you know, and that clicks. And when I was able to share that with my daughter, and it clicked to her, you know, 18-year-old, it's like, okay, you know, that means a lot. And I love that that's something that you that's like a foundation. That's a
yeah. It's like a site I work on the side, just trying to get stories from women because we all feel
yeah,
that way, at some point,
absolutely.
and it creeps up, out of nowhere. You have to
Yes.
talk yourself, down.
And
Yeah,
you have to talk yourself into it until you believe it, even though at first it's going to sound like a bunch of crap.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I love too. You talked about like not trying to be perfect, but just being strong. What does being strong look like for you? What does that even, signify for you?
I think getting up every day
Yes.
is being strong.
Yes.
Is being strong and deciding to make it to the next moment.
Yeah.
Is being strong.
Yeah.
And I think when you pat yourself on the back for just doing that, then you can make it to doing something more than just making it to the next moment. You can do more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
then, put your makeup on and then
Yeah.
put your hair in a knot. It's like, shoot, I made it to the next moment. Then
feeling good.
I'm feeling good. Well, then shoot, if I got up today, I can now get to my contour. I didn't,
Yep.
get the foundation. Now I can put my lashes on. You feel me? And it's like
levels.
and I think also, being strong is also being kind to yourself. I don't think we are kind to ourselves enough. I think we need to not beat ourselves up so much. That inner dialogue sometimes can be very, very cruel.
Yeah.
And we talk about other people talking bad to us and this, that, and the third, but we don't really big ourselves up enough. We don't really, I wrote a note to myself the other day. I said, be kinder to yourself. And it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
You got to remind yourself of those things.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously just thinking about your career and your longevity, when you were, starting out growing up, Moesha, all that hype, around. Well, just thinking like you were that girl. People talk about I'm that girl. You were that girl. Did you know that in that moment? And like, do you even now know just how much you meant to Black girls and Black women, throughout your whole life?
I think that I know I was that girl. I knew I was something. I knew I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot. I think in hindsight, I can look back and say, whoa, I did a lot of great things. I was able to be very impactful and when people tell me things now, I feel it. I feel like, oh wow, I really was able to touch, a lot of people. And that means so much to me. At the time, you're young. I don't know exactly, who I am. Moesha's stronger than me. I don't even know who Brandy is at that time. I'm living my life through a character. I don't know exactly, who I am. But when I look back, I'm able to see, wow, I was able to help a lot of Black girls and women in general, families in general. I was able to do that, and then looking through my daughter's eyes, for her to say, Mama, I love Moesha,
Right, exactly.
Love, for her to have my dolls, on her mantle and things like that. That is like, whoa,
Yeah,
I can look back in my hindsight and appreciate, like, thank you, God, for using me as a vessel. And at the time, I didn't really know I was being a vessel.
Yeah.
Thought I was being popular. I was just hot.
Right.
Hopping.
The purpose.
Lit now. I was lit, but.
Exactly. Can you imagine if there was social media at the time? How do you think that would have gone?
Oh, my God.
It could go, right. It could go either way.
I don't know. I'm things happen as they should.
Yes.
I don't know what I would have been
with you. Right.
A mess, honey.
No, right. thinking about like all your first, like you said, you had the dolls, the Black Barbie and then Cinderella. Is there like a first or an accomplishment that stands out to you, over the span of your career?
The Cinderella was huge for me. That was different because I felt like it was a parallel. Becoming the first Black princess was just, it was surreal. I'm like, what's really happening? Like, what's going on? And then for Whitney to become the first Black fairy godmother, and then for me to work with my idol, that, like, because just 3 years before that, I'm like in the nosebleed section of her concert trying to talk my way down to meet her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, oh, you froze.
Uh-oh.
You froze. Oh, no.
Oh, let me try that. Hold on.
There?
Okay.
You there? Oh, there you are.
Yes, sorry. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Apologize.
Yeah, so like 3 years ago, I'm like trying to talk my way from her concert to meet her. And like 3 years later, there's no way you could ever tell me that I'm going to be working with her, becoming, a princess.
Yeah.
Working with her, singing in the studio with her. Like, I never would have believed that.
Yeah.
So it's like two dreams happening at the same time. So I'm like, this is like not happening.
Yeah.
So that stands out to me.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
And then I also, just thinking back to, the love piece and that you talked about, you haven't experienced love at its best yet. Are you still? I told you they sent us some materials
in my bio. You've been reading up and
I've been reading, right? I've been reading. But also, that you have the best love, for yourself in that. So are you still holding out or hoping, to have that partner and experience love at its best?
Let me say, I haven't experienced love at its best because I wasn't my best, but I'm not looking for any. Looking. I love being with myself, and I love being, just so emotionally available for my daughter's life. Not that I'm trying to be all up in her Kool-Aid, like that, but I just kind of feel like I'm just kind of afraid to be wrapped up into anyone in that way. I'm just, because it's almost like I feel like I just got here with self-love. Yeah. So it's like, I like who I am. It's like, I love who I am. I just got to this kind of love. It's like, I'm scared to, I don't want to lose this, know?
Yeah. Protect your peace.
Yeah, I want to protect my peace, girl.
Yeah. And you're an aunt now, so you also have.
And I love my niece and nephew.
Yeah, so how's that for you, versus being a mom, and then now, you got your niece.
I just love them, and I'm about to tell you a little exclusive. Princess then had them kids locked up in quarantine, and so it's like I'm like trying to get them to, I've been visiting them and stuff, and it's like come to auntie. So I'm still trying to get them to get to know me because I haven't been able to see them, so I've been trying to work with them to get to. Melody is a little bit easier than Epic. Epic is a mama's boy.
Man, well, fingers crossed LA gets it together and they can lift this quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for you now, July 31st, the album will come out. What will like promotion and stuff look for you, and how are you, looking forward to that?
Well, I want to, when this whole thing lifts and when everything goes back to somewhat of a normal, I would love to get out there and see people on the stage and tour. But if not, if we won't be able to do that, I want to do some things online, maybe do some live performances online. Because I miss performing.
Yeah.
Performing, and I'm so excited about the new music. I want to perform my new songs, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And what are there still big things, in your mind that you want to accomplish? As you think about like your legacy and what you want that to be, are there things that stand out to you?
I would love to do a musical about my life. Yeah, that is, and maybe a book.
Okay. I love that. I saw you in Chicago, actually in New York. I think it was like 5 years ago. Yeah, whatever. I think 5 years ago. And it
I
was,
saw that.
yes, yes, it was so good. So I'm here for that.
You, I loved Chicago. It changed my
Yeah.
life. That
Right.
caused me to. That was in the 8 year. That was in the 8 year.
Okay.
So I, that really woke me up all the way. I
Yeah.
started to dream again after Chicago.
Now, what was it about that experience?
Just because it was just the music, the live theater, just it was a freedom that I had never experienced before. And it was everything that I love to do all in one, singing, acting, and dancing. So that caused me to want to pull it all in at one time.
Yeah.
So that's what made me want to do a musical about my life. So
Okay.
that's a dream.
It's gonna happen. It will. It will. Well,
You are. I love talking to you. This is probably one of my favorite interviews.
thank you. That means of the world to me right now. I thank
Your
you.
name is Brandy?
Yeah, Brandy. I jumped over that in the beginning, but yeah.
Oh, man.
Brandy with an E. Come on.
Hey, no wonder, child.
Exactly. See, that's what it is.
Yes, no wonder.
But yes. So I just appreciate you. I know it's hard having to do this stuff, at this time.
It's all good.
So I thank you.
Yeah.
And congrats. And
Thank you.
thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.